siblings, it's Kenny and welcome to theme class. So today we're back with a brand new theme, and today I want to learn about landscapes. So can you say, I can learn about landscapes? One more time. I can learn about landscapes. But what is a landscape? Well, a landscape is what we see when we see the earth. So things like rivers and forests, things like that. But there are so many different places on earth and so many continents. How are we going to learn all the landscapes? Well, I thought it would be fun if we could take a trip around the world and find one landscape in each continent to learn more about. So, how many continents are there? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 continents, so I'd love to explore 7 landscapes with you today. We already learned about one continent last theme, Asia. Remember, right now we live in Asia. But I wonder, which continent should we go to first today? Well, actually right now I'm pretty hot, so I think I want to go somewhere a little bit colder. And look at all the ice here. I think Antarctica would be a fun first continent to explore and find a new landscape. So, are you ready to go? Let's put on our seatbelts and get ready to fly. All right, what can we find in Antarctica? Ooh, the Southern Ocean. What's that? Well, first, what's an ocean? This is an ocean. An ocean is a large body of water that's all salt water. Oceans actually make up most of the earth. Let's see. If you look at the continents here, they're all surrounded by water. These are our oceans. Oceans don't have a specific stop. They all just flow into the next ocean. Around Antarctica is the Southern Ocean, or the Antarctic Ocean. This ocean is the second smallest ocean in the world, and it's the only ocean that goes around a continent. Wow, I just learned so many things about this ocean. But you know what? That was a lot of water. I think I want to go somewhere with a little less water this time. Where should it be? Let's look and see. Where would have a little bit less water and maybe be a little bit warmer? That was pretty cold. How about Africa? Let's see, what can we find there? All right, ready to fly? Put on your seatbelt. Let's go. Stop! I found our next landscape. The Sahara Desert. Wow. What's a desert? Well, a desert is a place that doesn't get a lot of rain. Also, when it does rain, it comes in very huge rainstorms. Now, a lot of times we think of deserts as very hot places with a lot of sand. But actually, deserts can also be very cold, and they're not all covered with sand. The Sahara Desert is actually only about 10% sand. But the Sahara Desert is very hot. In the summer, it's actually the hottest region in the world. And it's huge. It covers so much of Africa. In fact, the Sahara Desert covers 10 different countries along the top of Africa. Wow, that's so cool. What continent should we visit next? Let's check. Well, we visited Antarctica and we visited Africa. How about North America? I'm from North America. What landscape can we see there? the Great Lakes. First, what's a lake? A lake is a body of water that has land all around it. This water isn't moving, and it's fresh water, unlike the ocean that's made of salt water. The Great Lakes is made up of 5 different lakes that are in the United States and Canada. There's Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. The Great Lakes are the largest area of fresh water. Fresh water is very important because it's where we get our water to drink. All right, so we've learned about a new landscape. Where should we visit next? Let's check our map and see. All right, well, we're in North America, so let's travel south to South America. What kind of landscape can we find here? The Amazon River. So first, what's a river? A river is another body of water, but this one is moving. A river starts at a high point, like a mountain or the top of a hill, and flows down to the bottom. At the top of a river, it runs fast, whereas the bottom, it's a little slower. Let's pretend this beanbag is water. On a lake, the water sits still in the middle with land all around. But because a river is elevated with a high point and a low point, the water is always moving. This means things can travel down the river, and it lets many plants and animals live nearby. The Amazon River is the second longest river in the world. The only river that's longer is the Nile River. Wow, we're learning so much. Where should we go next? Well, since we're learning so much about water, let's travel to Australia. I heard that there's another cool water landscape there. The Wallaman Falls. The Wallaman Falls are a famous waterfall. What is a waterfall? Actually, a waterfall is part of a river. But how? Well, do you remember how water in a river travels? It starts at the top and flows down. Well, a waterfall is somewhere where rocks have broken off of a river. So it still starts at the top and falls down, but then it falls off suddenly, making a beautiful landscape like this one. The Wallaman Falls are a traditional area in Australia and are surrounded by beautiful plants and animals like tropical rainforest and eucalyptus forest and even mangrove forest. So many plants and animals can live near a waterfall because it is also a source of fresh water, meaning it's safe to drink. Well, we've traveled to so many places already. Antarctica, Africa, North America, South America, Australia. I'm feeling a little bit homesick, so maybe we should travel back to Asia. All right, it's pretty close. This will be a short trip. Should we fly? Put on your seatbelt. Let's go. Stop! We made it to Asia. So what can we find here? This one is pretty exciting. The Himalayas. The Himalayas are not only a mountain, but actually a mountain range. Mountains are places where the elevation or the height are bigger than all the surrounding areas. They're much taller than hills. They usually have steep sloping sides, but kind of a round top. Sometimes they're so tall, you see lots of snow on the top. But we almost never find mountains by themselves. They're usually next to other mountains, which is why we call them a mountain range. The Himalayas are a huge mountain range that we can find in Asia. They cover many different countries, and actually one of the mountains, Mount Everest, is the tallest mountain in the world. Isn't that exciting? But if we're talking about mountains, I think I have a great idea for where we should go for our last trip. Let's travel just a little bit over to Europe. What can we find there? Mount Etna. Well, this kind of looks like it's just another mountain, but actually, Mount Etna is a volcano. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about volcanoes before. In fact, we have many volcanoes here in Japan. A volcano is like a mountain, but somewhere where we can see lava flow out like this. But that's not how it always looks. Many volcanoes are dormant or sleeping. So they just look like mountains most of the time. However, if there is a reaction, we can see an eruption, which is when the lava comes out. We'll talk a little bit more about volcanoes and reactions after I tell you about Mount Etna. So, Mount Etna is found in Italy, and it is the tallest active volcano in Europe. It's been active for over 2.5 million years. In fact, one time it had an eruption that lasted over 4 months. That's a very long time. But how does a volcano go from being dormant and sleeping to being active and erupting? Well, there's more than one way. The Earth is made up of plates. That means two areas of the Earth's crust are together like this. But sometimes things like earthquakes happen and they make the plates move differently. Let's look at these two boards. So let's say the Earth's plates are sitting next to each other like this, but something happens that pushes them together. Well, now there's space in the middle. Underneath the Earth is hot, molten rock. If there's a gap, it leaves a space for it to come out. That's how we get an eruption. Also, sometimes the plates move apart. This also leaves a space for the lava to escape. Some eruptions are fast and violent, and sometimes it's very slow and trickles out. Would you like to see? I'll be right back. Okay, so let's say this water bottle is a volcano. Most of the time, it's perfectly fine. It's right now, what we say, dormant. It's sleeping. There's still the hot molten rock on the inside, but no reaction has happened to cause an eruption. However, let's say there's a big earthquake or something happens. Well, when that happens, it causes a reaction. And then suddenly, whoa, the volcano's not dormant anymore. Now it's active and erupting. So, if a volcano erupts, it can be very dangerous, right? That rock is so hot. But oftentimes, they go back to being dormant after. But not always. Some volcanoes stay active. Wow, we learned so many things about so many places today. Thank you. I'll see you next time.